Yay, we're live.
Hi, welcome everyone. I'm sure we don't have anyone in yet, but I'm sure people will start coming in soon, probably, if anyone is available. Shall we do a round of introductions while I figure out where I'm going to order a burrito from?
We're doing introductions, did you say? Sorry.
Yeah, sure.
Wow. Oh, geez, this is a terrible angle. Oh,
Hi, I'm KJ, Bookish KJ on Twitter. Yeah, and I read books for fun. That's what I do.
I'm Cara. I'm at Bianca Reads for some unknown reason. I know the reason, but it feels like so. Why did I call myself that? Who knows? And on YouTube, Twitter, technically Instagram, but I'm not there very often. And I also read for fun.
Imagine.
Oh, is it my turn?
Yeah.
I'm Julian of Cosmic Book Nook. I've changed my user quite a bit these past couple months, and my name. But yeah, you'll know me from the last live video if you watched that one. I have a blog, I have a bookstagram. They're all Cosmic Book Nook, so you can find me pretty easily. I like to read, play video games, work out, eat. I like cats. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Nice.
And yeah, today we're talking about Thornfruit, which I do not have a thing for, but this is my auto go.
Yeah, I don't own it, or I would pull it up. Yay!
A copy. I do not have a physical copy.
I don't either. I have the audiobook and a ebook.
Yeah, I ordered the physical copies after I read them on Kindle because I was like, I need them for my collection.
Oh my god, of course the cat walked in, slammed open my door, and then turned around and walked back out. What a bitch. Yes, I read it on Script, so I do not have a physical copy.
I'm jealous.
But so good.
Yeah, what did you guys rate wise? 4? I did 4 too.
Yeah, 4.5.
It was a really good. I love the world building.
I like
could
it. Yeah,
picture it.
I like that we get the villains POV a little bit too.
Definitely.
That was cool.
Yeah. So as an overview, this is I would say maybe fantasy romance as a genre. I feel like it leans heavily into the romance, so I'd put it kind of in a fantasy romance, but not a dark taboo, other than I guess some people would consider polyamory and sapphic stuff taboo if they're weird. And yeah, it's lighter in the light in the romance, but darker in the fantasy themes, I guess.
Yeah, it's about 2 girls who are trying to protect each other. I think is the easiest way to describe it.
Yeah, I'll just leave the describing the synopsis to you guys because I'm terrible at that.
I'm terrible at that too. Don't leave anything to me.
I got 2 girls. One of the girls can read minds. But she can't see people. She can't see their faces. She can see people, but she can't distinguish features.
Face blindness, I think it's called.
Yeah. And the other girl is from the countryside, and she sells fruit from a cart, and that's how they meet.
Big, strong woman energy.
Yes.
That's the vibe I get. Big, strong woman energy. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they meet one day when the girl who has the cart is selling fruit, and then they meet, and then we go on an adventure between the 2 of them.
Yeah. That is a good summary of the plot without diving into spoilers, but still giving a good overview.
I tried.
And I'm excited because I feel like the world building is just going to explode in book 2, and I know Julian's already read book 2. or the whole series. But I feel like the world buildings, because we know leaving off the end of book 1, they're kind of like leaving the one island area to go somewhere else, and I'm really excited.
Yeah, and I think we'll get more of the magic system as well in book 2, because if I remember correctly, it wasn't as taboo where they're going to have these magical abilities.
Yes.
So it's like, can we talk spoilers? Is that okay?
I mean, no one's on the live to complain yet, so I guess.
Okay. So like
from here on, if you're watching the playback.
Yeah. So like halfway through the book, you realize that the magic that the main character has, or that one of the main characters has, isn't just the only type of magic. And I thought that was cool because it wasn't really hinted at until halfway through the book.
Yeah. You know what? I'm putting a little. Is it going to go on? There we go.
Yes.
For anyone who jumps in. Yes. I really liked that, like, everything really developed world building wise kind of slowly and got you like sinking into things as you went.
Yeah. It didn't feel info dumpy like that.
Yeah, that's my problem with fantasy sometimes. It can get really dense and info dumpy, and this series wasn't really like that at all, and I appreciated that.
I feel like the only bit that to me felt mildly, not even info dumpy, but more just like here's lots of stuff at once to get your head around, was right at the start, and that was more around like what all the place names were and like naming conventions and stuff. And then as soon as that was done, it was like, go forth, be free, learn slowly. But I feel like that's a very indie style to like lay out those things really fast. I don't know.
Yeah. I think my favorite part of the book was actually the villain origin story that we got. That was so good.
Yeah, because it makes you like sympathize with her a little bit, even though you know she's like bad.
Yeah. Like,
and I think I was reading Malice like at the same time or like right after, and which is also like a villain-esque origin story. And honestly, this does it so much better.
Is that the one has like a hand and like a rose on the cover?
It's a Sleeping Beauty retelling.
Yeah, retelling.
Yeah.
I read that around the same time too. This felt a little bit more natural.
Did you like Malice?
Not really. I give it a 3. It was fine.
Oh, Erin is here, but it says there's no one here. But maybe Erin just jumped in briefly. Erin, are you still here? It's just not telling me the numbers. Yeah, the proper names had me messed up for like the first couple of hours I was reading until I got used to it and then got better at it.
Sorry, I don't know if you saw my startled face. Ollie just jumped on the... I have like this table I set up so I can eat in like the book loft, and Ollie jumped off it, sprang up onto his like cat shelf, and it like shook the whole table.
Hi, Erin.
Okay, I am still getting 0 viewers on mine, so I don't know what's going on with my StreamYard. But if anyone else is here, please leave a comment in the comments so I can have a good track of who's attending. Because, yeah, mine's still saying 0 watches. So if you were here, please leave a comment, introduce yourself. Normally I kind of keep track, but...
The one thing I want from book 2 is more of the like... were they called Leviathans? No. The little
the giant jelly
sea creature thing.
Oh yes, Medusas.
Okay.
Yeah,
I loved the description of those. I loved the whole battle with the one character who had to fight the Medusa. Like, it was just my favorite part outside of the villain origin story.
And I feel like the traveling into the second book hopefully will explore that well.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
because I want more.
And Julia's like, I know all these things, and I'm not telling you. Oh, what was I gonna say?
Do we know who the non-binary character is that is going to be part.
I don't think
he's not mentioned at all in book 1.
Okay.
He's at the very beginning of book 2, though, so you meet him right away.
Yeah.
Cool. So this starts out sapphic, and then it, I believe it turns polyamorous. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very much so.
What else? Oh, last month, very side tangent because I don't know how to follow on a track of one thing for more than 5 minutes. The last month we were talking about how KJ had read In the Ravenous Dark, and I think Erin had read it as well in the comments, and I read it this month, and I also hated it. So
yes!
All three of you?
I didn't. Hate is a strong word, but like I feel like I enjoyed the first half, and then suddenly when I thought we should have been like building chemistry and things would have been ramping up, there was no chemistry. I didn't care about anything, and nothing seemed like organically constructed.
Mm-hmm.
Especially the romance. Like I didn't care about any of them.
You said that the polyamory felt very like, I don't know. I don't remember how you described it. Like, just not like there was too much talk, like too much emphasis on the we're polyamorous and trying to like normalize it instead of just like focusing on the development of their relationships.
Yeah,
it was like in your face, like we're polyamorous and this is this and this is this, instead of it just showing us that they're polyamorous.
Yeah, show, don't tell.
And there was like no chemistry between any of them. I thought there was more chemistry between the main character and the girl she's seeing at the start of the book that she's seeing for like one chapter than with either of the two love interests.
Yes.
Like the first girl, I was like, oh, I see this. I can see this. And then, but expecting it to go somewhere. It goes nowhere. And then the two love interests, I didn't buy the chemistry at all.
I just think they were so forgiving, or the main character was so forgiving of the ghost dude.
Yeah.
Like, this guy murdered your father, and like, yeah, he was ordered to do it, but like, he killed your father, and you're gonna like fall in love with him within a week? Like,
yeah.
No.
And I didn't even really buy, like, I guess in one sense it's authentic in that in real life people just tend to be like, I'm into you and get together. But that's not how it should work in a book. Like,
no.
You need a bit more development than that. And like her and the princess was totally just like, I'm into you, let's get together. And I didn't buy it.
I think that's like the more that I'm reading of polyamorous books, that's my big issue, is that a lot of the time it's not super organic. And it almost feels a little bit derivative, but I'm happy it's there. But at the same time, like, I want better. I want it to be better.
I feel like in fantasy, it's like, who cares? You can make your fantasy like queer norm, or like queer norm. What am I trying to say? You know, like a queer normative world, a polyamorous world. You don't have to like justify and explain it. Like, I understand in contemporary, like there's a series of polyamorous contemporary romances I read, Three-Way Split and Three for All by Elia Winters, where the three of them actually like discuss polyamory and go to like a polyamory support group and stuff like that. And I felt like that was really well done. But in fantasy, it's like, just like show, don't tell, you know?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And even in the Ravenous Dark even made some insinuations that like in parts of the world no one gives a shit. Like, it was even kind of like normalized already, but they still had to have the like, well, we believe that we can hold love for more than one person, and that's why we're in this relationship.
Yeah.
But like, neither of the dynamics of the relationship didn't even make sense as single couples, let alone as a V.
It was yeah. I feel like everybody loves it, and so I feel so justified that like people I like didn't like it. Like, I feel so vindicated.
Yeah. Julie, did you read the Witches wolves?
I did. Yeah. It was basically just porn.
Nice.
Like, you know me, I love erotic romances, but it felt like it jumped into it really quickly. I mean, it's like 30 pages, so they have to. But it wasn't like super badly written or anything. I thought the writing was pretty good. It was just, it felt like I was watching or reading a cheesy porno, if you know what I mean.
So if you want a polyamorous, I believe it's kind of kinky but also sweet, is what I heard.
Yeah,
but
very
I haven't read it.
Tender, I guess is the word. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a 30-page polyamorous novella.
Yeah.
Ooh. It's called The Witch's Wolves. I saw Cam from, is it Cam Central? Cam's current Twitter handle, talking about it, and I was like, I haven't read it yet, though.
I'm gonna add it to my Goodreads right now.
Yeah,
it's 30 pages. Why not?
Yeah. There was another book I was going to talk about. No, gone. Thought gone.
So, do you guys have any predictions? I know, well, Julian, you don't have any predictions because you already know. Cara, do you have any predictions for what's gonna happen in the next book? It's gonna be our September pick, I believe.
Yes. So I haven't posted on the Twitter yet, but I will do that after this. That our September book is going to be Nightvine, which is book 2. Do I have any actual predictions? No, but I'm not a very good predictor of anything.
They kept mentioning a prince, and I feel like aren't we going to go get the prince? That's like our goal is to go meet up with the prince.
The prince was like at the dinner parties and stuff at the start.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like we're gonna get more of the prince.
We're definitely gonna get more of the prince. I feel like. I think that's in the synopsis for book 2.
Oh, I haven't read the synopsis.
I don't normally, and I think it had spoilers, so I kind of like, or things that were kind of spoilery, so I like dived off it pretty quick. I like looked at a little bit and then went, whoop, nope. But I'm pretty sure they're going to where he's from.
Okay.
Land, so I think he's in it more. But he's not the third love interest.
But was I not supposed to say anything?
Well, we know we haven't met the third love interest yet, so that's not spoiling it.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
I
think that the lady of the house, the one with the backstory, is gonna. I don't think she's gonna go after them, but I think like herself. But I think she's gonna send more people after them.
Yes. Honestly, the plot twists in this book were really good for me. Like, I feel like I was predicting things, but in just that right point where you're like, oh, is that going to happen? And then it, like, happens right as you're, like, predicting it. So, like, at the right point. Because, like, that twist of the parentage, and I was like,
yeah,
I predicted it, but only just.
Yeah.
Only just, which is pretty normal for me.
I don't think I predicted anything, but then I like binged it. I sat there and read, like, listened to the audiobook back to back to back all the way through. That's a good question.
I don't know. We haven't read it. I think tell us, Erin, what you didn't like, other than like it being a like high fantasy and you had to learn names and stuff. Because I know that's the thing that Erin doesn't vibe with all the time.
Erin mentioned the pacing.
Oh no, I think that was about in the Raven Star.
Oh, okay. I'm not. I think. What do I think? I don't know what I think. I was going somewhere and then I got lost halfway there.
None of the family read my text about asking if they want anything from their burrito place, so I guess I'm just ordering for one.
I'm a little bit nervous about the next book because I have found that I hate second books. I think that's like a common thing is that a lot of people hate second books of a trilogy.
The second book is my favorite.
Okay. I hate traveling. I hate traveling in books, like journeying, like going on long journeys. Like
I feel like the plot won't be all journey.
So
I feel like we're gonna journey and get there, and then do things there.
I hope. That's my one like concern is that it's gonna be journeying and I'm not gonna be into it.
But also, like, you're enjoying August's book and it's a sci-fi.
I'm only 30% into it.
Yeah, but that's 30% of a sci-fi you've enjoyed. I feel like that's a win on behalf of sci-fi and KJ.
I know. I gave A Long Way to a Small Angry Planet like a 4 or a 5 star that I read this month too.
That's true.
I don't know what's happening. I even gave a romance a 5 star. Something's wrong with me.
What was the romance you rated 5 stars again?
It was The Hating Game.
Hating Game. I know. Paige was telling us in our group.
I actually didn't really like that one.
I love enemies to lovers. That's one of my favorite tropes. I'm just a fan. High fantasy was a high barrier for entry. Yeah, I thought that part was really cool though. The lack of day and night.
I think it was cool. I think maybe if you're more used to high fantasy, sometimes the world building like you just accept as like a cool quirk rather than it like needing to make sense. But I can understand if you're not a high fantasy person, that can be like.
Yeah, it reminded me of what is that book called? The Ever Tilting. No.
Never Tilting
by
World.
Rin Chepeko?
Yeah.
Ever Tilting World.
Yeah, that's the sequel. I can't remember what the first one is.
Oh.
And yeah, I loved Ev. But I'm guessing she means development here.
That part, the part where they kept changing the times did confuse me. The cycles. I couldn't figure out how long the cycles were.
This is a classic example of me certain world building stuff, like I can just be like, it doesn't have to make sense. Sometimes I can just be like, whatever.
Yeah, me too.
It's
more about the characters than the world building.
Me too.
To be honest.
Yeah.
I like a cool quirk of world building, but I don't like need everything to make deep logical sense. What I don't like is if it's trying to make deep logical sense but doesn't deliver. Whereas I feel like if it's just there to be a fun quirk, I don't mind.
Yeah.
I hate it though when something tries to be like, wow, this is so groundbreaking for the world, and then they don't pull it off and it doesn't make logical sense. Don't like that. But yeah, I know Erin's not a high fantasy person, so
it's all good. I don't know why I like The Hating Game so much. I can't give any.
I guess I felt like all the tension between them hating each other. It didn't like it was kind of anticlimactic when they finally got together. I was like,
normally I'm here for the sex scenes, but it was the banter that got me, like the back and forth. I didn't even care about the sex scene at the end. Like I think I was totally tuned it out when I was listening, actually, which is not my normal jam. But
yeah, I think the sex scenes didn't really deliver for me. I did like that he was like shy, the love interest. That was cute. I want more shy guys in romance.
Yes.
Oh, have you guys read The Roommate? No. It's a normal romance. The second one has big shy boy vibes.
Is it like different characters in each one? Okay.
Yeah. What's the second one called? I have it on my thing.
Although to be honest, I don't really read a lot of like white cis romances much anymore.
I'm the same way. That's why I was shocked. I told my friend, I was like, can you believe I just liked something that's cishet romance? And they were like, no, you didn't.
This one is cis, but not, at least the second book is not het and it's not white. In the second one, both characters are Jewish, and at least the female love interest is bisexual.
But I also really liked Indestructible Objects that you and I read. Have you read that yet, Julian?
No, I have an arc. It has the bi main character, right? And it has like, it's a little messy. It had like cheating at the beginning, I think. I haven't read it yet, but I've heard good things about it.
I thought it was really well done.
The intimacy experiment is the second one.
Oh.
Sorry, just to backtrack on that. The intimacy experiment has Shy Boy. He's a rabbi, and it's like the religious tension shyness kind of stuff. And she's a porn star. That's their dynamic.
That sounds intriguing.
Good. Book 1 was also really good. I feel like book 1 was steamier than book 2, but both were really good. Would recommend. The first one's like straighter, cisser, whiter. Book 2 is better on that one.
Have I recommended Sugartown to you guys yet? I feel like I have.
read Sugartown.
It sounds familiar.
I read it years ago.
Oh, is it the graphic novel?
Yeah.
Yeah, I read that one. That was cute.
I keep pushing it on people. I love it to death.
Yeah,
the only thing that I don't like is like
too short.
It's too short, and like it was a little bit messy at the end where there was some jealousy going on and it wasn't like addressed the way I would want it to be addressed. But
I have no memory, so I'm just like nodding like I totally remember.
I don't really remember with much detail. I really liking it.
I liked it because it had kink rep and it also had poly rep.
Yeah.
So
cool.
And I think when we talked about this last time, I recommended you to read Sunstone. Have you looked into Sunstone since?
I read the first volume a while ago, I think, before you even recommended it to me. I haven't read past that, though.
I was just going to ask what that one was that you had recommended.
Yeah, Sunstone. It's kink, and I feel like there's some, like, from memory, as the volumes progress, there's some level of, like, they're not monogamous exclusive, but in more of a, like, way.
That's why I read it in the first place. I'd say it was on some list of, like, polyamorous books.
Yeah, like, I don't think it's the polycule vibes. It's more that, like, non-monogamy in, like, a kink setting kind of vibe.
It is. Sunstone Volume 1.
I gave Sugartown 3 stars. I just found it, but I think it was because it was too short.
Yeah, that's my issue with a lot of graphic novels. Or at least the ones I've found with polyamory have been really, really short.
Yep.
I have it marked to read now.
Are we going to talk about Thornfruit now, or is it okay if we talk about like other polyam books?
No, well, whatever, anything. But this book, Aaron just said this.
We talk about everything.
Yeah, Tall Girl, Strong Girl was my vibe.
Yeah, I got some I commissioned some artwork of the 3 characters. Yeah, Eva's the tallest. She's taller than Theo even. I find that fun.
That is a good choice.
Oh, so this one I finished recently, Hunger Pangs. And I like that one.
What did you think?
Although it felt like ending just kind of like happened kind of abruptly. I mean, I know it's mostly split into 2 books just because the author wrote a book that was too long to be just one book, you know? So that's probably why I felt that way. But I really enjoy the characters, and I'm looking forward to book 2. There's like no news on it so far, so I'm like, where is it? It's coming.
Okay, Jen, we need to read this at some point.
Yeah.
Hunger Pangs? Is it by Scott J. Moses?
No.
Nope.
It's by Joy Damara. And there's a fluff edition and a high heat edition, like high heat and low heat editions. This is the high heat edition, of course. And then the fluff is blue. You can buy either in paperback, and that's cool.
I found it. I have really gotten into like the casual mentions of polyamory. Like, I'm here for it. I feel
Not
like
enough for me.
Huh?
It just makes me want more.
It makes me want more, but at the same time, like just the little nod to it is pretty cool too.
It's nice, yeah.
Like, well, A Long Way to a Small Angry Planet had a polycule, so that was more not a nod.
And
oh yeah, Long Way to is. I thought it was more of like an open relationship type thing, like she's dating a non-human, like an alien, who sees other people
and
too. Or
her novella also is like straight up polycule.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then I read Ruin Song, which was a YA release from last year. It just had like a casual, like they dropped the word polyamory and they're like, yeah, and some people are in polyamorous relationships, and I was like, okay, like I'm here for it.
Yeah,
I'm about to read this today, so we'll see what's
that.
That's the new Becky Chambers.
I've only book I've read by her so far is this one, which is like very, very subtle polyamory, but I really liked it. It's like
I feel like it's like subtle, but like more that it's the backdrop rather than the forefront.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's like very much there.
Yeah, exactly. Like the main character, a woman, she's described as having like sexual and romantic relationships with the other woman, and then with this guy who I think is trans. I think that's what I got from a very like blink and you miss it description that made me go, oh.
Yeah, and then the fourth character is asexual.
Yeah, or maybe a romantic or both. And
yeah.
I really like that, how each relationships were a little different with each person.
Yeah. Oh, and then I'm gonna read this after, which I don't think has polyamory, but it has genderqueer.
Yeah. Gender fluid, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, I have the audiobook for that, and I was actually putting it off, so it's a little too epic for me.
Yeah, I was kind of flipping through it, and I was like, huh. Maybe if I listen to the audiobook, it'll be easier.
I have a pretty edition and everything, and I'm like, I'm going through and adding all the books.
And then I have these really random books I bought because I heard somewhere in the series there was polyamory. I don't know like anything about what kind of polyamory it is or when in the series it comes in. They're by an indigenous author, I believe, with indigenous rep. These ones here.
Ooh.
What's the series? A Way of Thorn and Thunder is what the series is called. So I don't know. Maybe I'll read those and let you guys know if it's like decent.
Yeah.
You'll have to I can't. They're not super well known at all, so I can't really find much information on them. But let's see.
Erin, I have added all of your recommendations to my Goodreads, by the way. Just sitting here adding them all.
What else did I have? Oh, if we like Honor Among Thieves, it's also a full trilogy. So
it's a trilogy? I thought it was a duology.
No, there's 3 I found.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I thought it was a duology for a while too, but no.
I got the audiobook, so I'm actually doing a lot better than I thought I was going to be. So
I am also listening to the audiobook.
I'm just like going through my shelves since I'm sitting right here next to one of my bookshelves, the one that happens to have like my polyam collection, and going through them. Mm-hmm. Have you guys read this one?
No.
Okay, so it's a little bit like messy and weird. Like it starts off like this bisexual girl has a boyfriend and they're in like an open relationship, but then she like falls for someone, but then that relationship doesn't really work out, and it's weird because it's like halfway through and you're like, oh, this isn't going to be endgame, and then she meets someone else and that ends up being endgame. So it's weird because the like endgame love interest doesn't come in until like halfway through, but I thought it was kind of interesting to read it that way. It's not like a typical romance. I don't know if I'd call it a romance just because it's, it's different. Like, you don't meet the endgame love interest till a lot later, and a lot of it is like her just having like different kinds of like showing her open relationship and how she realizes that she might want like more like polyamory instead of just like sleeping with people. And it's a little messy. Like, it doesn't shy away from like, it has like trans characters too, and it doesn't shy away from like biphobia and transphobia. I mean, it's all challenged, of course, but
who's the author of that?
It's Emily Nantel. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, just frantically adding things to our TV.
It's not like a lighthearted read, really, but I enjoyed it.
That's one of the things. Like, I love messy relationships, but sometimes I worry about polyamory being messy because I don't want people to get a bad opinion of what polyamory is.
I felt like it was really well handled in this book. Like, her and her boyfriend are really open, and they always talk to each other before they like do anything, go on a date or anything with another person. And they really discuss like if they're feeling jealous or having hesitant feelings and stuff like that, and they're really open about it. So I thought it was really well done.
Nice. Oh.
So our August read, it's August, is so it seems like it's going to be a polyamorous relationship between the main character, the side character, and then the ship.
Yeah. The main character is a girl, another girl, and then like a sentient like alien
non-binary spaceship.
Not okay. Wait, I don't know about my non-binary. I think I just said that because I was like, oh
no, it's in the text.
Really?
They're non-binary, yeah.
They're non-binary, but use he/him pronouns because their voice is masculine and appears masculine to the characters. Cool. So they use he/him pronouns, but just like it'll make you feel comfortable because my voice is a masculine voice, but they're non-binary.
Oh, that's awesome.
He's non-binary. Yeah.
Yeah, I've only read like the first couple chapters, but I'm really intrigued so far.
I do think I might not have been paying attention, but I think the love interest doesn't come in for a little bit.
Okay, yeah.
Is that right? Really? I got two of the girls confused for a second.
I thought it's the two girls on the ship.
Yeah, but there's that other girl before they get onto the ship.
The girl that she stole from? Wait, don't tell me anything. I haven't.
No.
If there's like a spoiler, don't tell me.
No, the girl that she meets at rehab.
Oh, I haven't gotten to that part yet.
No, I don't think that's it.
She just
No, I know that it's not her, but like you don't meet the girl on the ship until you actually get to the ship, and it takes like 20% to get to the ship.
Got it.
Yeah. Aaron, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, plenty of non-binary people use she, her, he, him pronouns.
Yeah. And yeah, Naveen, the ship, is like pronoun ambivalent, I think he said. He's like, I don't care, but like go with he, him, because that's what you can hear from my...
Because you guys are humans and you have a limited understanding of gender, you cute little humans.
Yeah. I think he even said, like, no one has even taken the time to ask me that before. So, I don't know. I don't know about this, guys. I'm nervous.
I'm really
But also, unlike the chemistry in the Ravenous Dark, where I thought it was non-existent, I'm totally buying the chemistry between her and the spaceship.
I'm like totally into this. Like when I go to like a comfort place in my mind, it's either I'm like in an RV, like with like a polycule traveling the country, or I'm in a spaceship. And to make it a sentient spaceship that you're like in like some kind of relationship with, it just sounds really cozy.
There are definitely things that are a little weird that I'm like laughing at while I'm still buying it. Like the spaceship can like feel you touching the walls and stuff.
Yeah,
They're watching everything you're doing. He can see everything.
Perverted for this book because every time they said like I'm inside him, I was like, oh man,
come on.
But yeah, I'm still buying it at the same time.
Exactly. It's like
I was saying to Julian on a Instagram live we did the other day before my phone frantically overheated in the car and died.
Oh yeah.
But I was scared because I've read some audiobooks from the narrator that I like and some I don't. I'm liking it, which I was glad about. I was real scared because I didn't like their narration of Full Disclosure by Cameron Garrett. Like I didn't like the way they narrated it. But I think there might also be the narrator for. Oh no, it is a different one. Okay, I thought she might have been the same narrator who did The Space Between Worlds because I think it gives similar vibes, but that's someone else apparently. But there's definitely other stuff I've read from this narrator.
Oh yeah, The Space Between Worlds. That's like adult sci-fi. It has like a bi-main character and it's female, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I came across that one in my search for more bisexual adult. It sounds really good. Have you read it?
Yeah, it was really good.
I want more like cozy sci-fi, like found family sci-fi, where they're all just living in like big spaceships.
It was not cozy.
Yeah, I know. It's
not cozy.
In general, I just want more cozy sci-fi.
No,
I feel like
that one's brutal.
action-y.
You should read A Psalm for the Wild Built too, then, by Becky Chambers.
Wait, say that again.
A Psalm for the Wild Built.
Oh,
it's
this.
Yeah,
this it's real cozy. Yeah,
like one of the characters owns a tea shop, or like it's not a shop; it's on a bike, and he makes tea for people and like listens to them complain. He's like a therapist, like who makes tea for people.
Does it have any romance? Because I have to ask.
No.
Okay.
I don't think so. I think it's pretty romanceless.
Well, Long Way to a Small Angry Planet seems like it might. I don't know. Might have.
I feel like that's
found family vibes. Yeah.
That's
oh my god, yes.
Found family vibes. Yes. Right. But like the romances are subtler. I think there's a lot of them, but they're a bit more subtle. Yeah. But the found family, it is found family to a T. It is
found family where no one dies.
What was that?
Where no one dies. I feel like someone always dies in sci-fis.
The first one
kind of.
Maybe one kind of, but there's like 8 people in the dynamic and one of them kind of dies.
Kind of?
I can't, without spoiling it, I can't explain.
They kind of die. That's
okay. I guess I'll just find out.
It's okay. It leads into one of the other books.
Okay, got it. And then what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something else. What? Oh yeah, the last sci-fi I read was Architects of Memory, which is female, has a bisexual lead. That was very dark.
Is that the second one?
No, it's the first one. The second one is Engines of Oblivion. I think it came out earlier.
Okay, maybe
it came out like really soon after the first one. Really soon, I think. It came out like at the beginning of this year, and Architects of Memory came out like late last year. I really enjoyed that one. It's just like a lot of depth.
I started Binders by.
Oh yeah, we talked about one last time. You were reading that.
Yeah, no, I soft DNF'd it because it was very.
Me kind of too. I kind of soft DNF'd it. It's very dense, but I am still interested because I kind of like that the Polycule kind of got back together at the beginning, and now they're just like together doing stuff.
Yeah,
but it's a lot of stuff that I don't understand what the hell is happening or what, like very science fiction-y stuff that I'm just like, okay, what? But whatever. I'll keep reading.
I can't remember who it's by.
Melissa Scott.
Yes.
Melissa Scott, yeah.
I want to read that Victorian thing.
That
I think
inevitable Victorian thing. That's another one I soft DNF'd, not because I wasn't enjoying it. I got in a reading slump and I left a lot of books left unfinished. But I've been finishing the ones I started. This was one of them that I got 3/4 of the way through and finally finished a couple days ago. So I'm working on that.
Yeah, I want to read that inevitable Victorian thing.
It's good.
I like it. Yeah. Wait, have you read it, Karen?
Yeah, I've read it.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
I read it ages ago.
Oh yeah.
Kara has a
book I just accidentally found out was polyamorous.
Yes,
no
yeah,
one
I
accidentally
found out. I read it for some other reason, and then at the end it's like, wait, what? Because it's like the perfect example of a love triangle, but let's solve it with polyamory.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you're building up with a love triangle, and all the premises just love triangle stuff, and then it's like, hello.
Yeah.
At the end.
Have either of you heard any reviews yet about Iron Widow?
I know that Mouse loved it.
I know Chloe, someone I'm mutuals with, another book person. I know they really liked it.
Yeah, I've only heard good things.
What?
I've only heard good things, but not anything detailed.
Yeah.
Oh God!
I feel like that's gonna bring KJ out.
I don't know, Aaron. This sounds a lot like XX.
What? This is giving big XX vibes, and KJ couldn't deal.
What are we talking about?
Embassy Town. It's by China Melville, so I'm not surprised it's weird.
It's dense and deliberately incomprehensible at times because it's about language and difficulties in understanding and translation and communication. And that sounds exactly like XX.
Yeah, I feel like Aaron would love XX.
Hated that book. I've actually, when Not Safe for Workathon comes around, I'm gonna try and finish it. Or not Safe for Workathon. Mouse's readathon.
Read it for Not Safe for Workathon. Read some of it. Put it in the DNF for book category.
Yes. For Mouse's readathon at the last 2 months of the year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I have no idea what I'm going to read for that. If they put on the big book prompt again, I think To Sleep in a Sea of Stars was my biggest book, and I'm scared about it.
I'm going to pick up XX, and then I want to finish. What is that book called? You guys don't know because you're not in my brain.
No.
The book about the house that's bigger on the inside.
Is it one that Kayla from Books and Lola recommended? Because I feel like Where the Woods Come In or something like that.
No.
House of Leaves.
Yes. Goodness. Yes. I'm going to finish that one too.
Yeah. No, I don't recommend anyone read House of Leaves.
What are we talking about? House of Leaves? What's that one?
Yeah, these are just crazy. House of Leaves is crazy horror, doesn't make sense. It's terrifying, but also impossible.
And that's terrifying. I'll take having my pants scared off me, even if it doesn't make sense. I love being scared.
Really dense.
I kept taking pictures of XX and sending them to Kara because it was just so dumb. It was like
I loved XX.
It was build me a body so I can fuck you in the weirdest font ever across 5 pages.
I'm sorry, I'm so lost right now.
It's a big sci-fi that's 1,000 pages, and the premise is basically aliens, but also it's a first contact with aliens book, but also this idea that the internet has a consciousness and you can trap it. And so the internet's speaking through Word documents in weird fonts and is build me a body so I can fuck you. But in a bad way.
Yes.
Not in a good way.
What in the world?
It's bizarre, but I loved it. And KJ hated it.
I've never heard of this. What?
It's huge. It's ginormous.
What's it called?
XX. A novel graphic?
Yeah. It's Maddie from Book Browsing Blog had it on her TBR 12 times. Like every month she would put it on her TBR. I was like, oh, I'm just going to read this to kind of like make fun of her in like a fun way, not in a mean way. And then I'm like, holy crap, this is horrible.
Yeah, totally. I think Erin will love it.
Erin, where are you from? I will send you my copy. Take
Erin's
it from me. Oh, okay. No, I won't because that's like a super high shipping cost.
Mm-hmm. I ordered mine from Gimmicks, but the House of Leaves, on the other hand, is like horror, but also super dense, and is like mixed well, both are mixed media, but like House of Leaves is like stories within stories, and none of it makes sense, basically.
I'm gonna put one for November.
What?
I'm gonna have one for November and one for December, and then get through it.
Yeah. House of Leaves was harder to me. Like, at least XX is linear in its reading. House of Leaves is like, do you want to flick to the back for a little bit, and do you want to flick forward a little bit, and it's nuts. Erin has read House of Leaves, and we both struggled.
Oh my goodness, we got so off track. That's just what we do. Is
we don't need to be on. What? Who defines on track?
What is a track?
What is a track?
Good question. Let's go even more off track, or stay on this off track that we're on. Whatever.
Yeah.
Steak sauce is polyamorous. I mean, not in this book. It's not. It's male, and then it becomes male, in like the best way. The reveal, like, you'll see. I don't want to spoil it. It was great, and the main character is what?
I need to add that to my list of like.
Yeah, it's really good. The main character is trans and autistic, and on the ACE and or Arrow spectrums, and yeah, I just really enjoyed it. It's a pretty short book. It's only like 200 something pages, which I actually like every now and then. I haven't read the second book yet. The word autistic isn't used in this one, but I heard it is in the second one, so that's nice. He's very explicitly trans too, so that was nice.
On the topic of like weird queer trans shit, Cute Mutants. Has anyone else read Cute Mutants? Because like it's so good.
What is that? It sounds like a graphic novel. Is it a graphic novel?
It looks like a graphic novel, but it's not. Like, they are laid out as like volume 1, volume 2, but they're novels.
How did I just like it?
Is my little like
graphic novel.
Cute Mutants line on my iPad.
Oh, okay.
But they are all actual like novels.
Got it.
The main character's trans, masculine, non-binary, I think. And their parent is also non-binary. It's been a while since I read it, and I can't remember. But it's superheroes, and they're all queer. But they're like superpowers, but they hate them. Like, they're awful superpowers.
Is it YA or?
I'd say new adult. Like, they're late teens, but it's very mature end.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe like late YA and
yeah,
not young YA.
Mm-hmm.
And the main character's superpower is that objects talk to her, but it's very weird. Him, maybe I can't remember pronouns anymore. It's been a long time since I read it. The main character has voices from all the objects in their room. Like, their pillow is like, I love you because you sleep on me.
That would be the worst.
Oh god, can you imagine objects not shutting up? Oh god.
Yeah, it's like that, and they've got to have these conversations with objects, but they can kind of like use it to their advantage. Like, they can get into buildings because they can like romance the lock and be like, you love me. You want to open for me? Open for me. Open for me. And the door will like open.
Oh my gosh.
That's hilarious.
It's so good. I can't remember what the other characters had. It's been a while since I've read it. But They're in maybe self-published, and there's a bunch of them now, and they are so good. I think the 5th one's coming out soon, but then there's a spin-off series as well.
Are they like short? Like
full novel length, but like a short novel, maybe like 300 pages. And yeah, messy gays with superpowers. The shittiest of superpowers. I'm trying to remember what the other characters had. I wonder if there's some kind of like wiki. Yeah, it's like X-Men but shitty. And it's very
right.
Like all the powers are terrible.
Did we just lose Julian? Nope. Oh. Come back. There you are.
Okay. Sorry about that. I don't know what I just did. All right.
What is that other people's?
Oh, shoot. I can't hear you guys.
Oh, that's weird.
Can you hear us now?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Okay. I cannot hear you. Oh, jeez.
That's weird.
Well, it looks like we're approaching the hour, so.
I am trying to find what their powers are, and I'm mad that I don't know off the top of my head. But I totally recommend it. It is hilarious. I think the author is Kiwi, so maybe this is also like an Australian humor.
I can hear you.
Look, there's 2 of you. Oh, never mind.
All right, there we go.
Like the author is from New Zealand, and New Zealand humor is pretty similar to Australian humor. So this may be a like I find it really funny because I'm Australian thing, but I feel like everyone's funny.
Yeah,
cute mutants. Yeah. But I think it's probably funny regardless. But
I'll think about it.
It's good. Would recommend. Let's be real. All we do in these lives is end up talking about the book for 15, 20 minutes and then recommending other books.
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh, okay. So what books have you guys finished recently, or polyamorous books? I mean, I just finished Hunger Pains and also Plain Bad Heroines, which I really liked. But also, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, wait, what? I'm kind of a little confused about how everything like wrapped up, I guess, and it felt like, I don't know, I guess I expected stuff to like come together more at the end, but maybe I just like missed stuff. I did really enjoy it though.
I'm rereading it again next month.
I might have to do that.
Wait, which one again?
Huh?
Wait, what are we talking about? I zoned out into space for 20 seconds and I got.
Heroines.
Oh yes.
I don't know. I should it feel like it wrapped up in a.
It did not.
Yeah. No, I felt like I expected the stuff to all come together more, and it like didn't.
I think I loved it so much just for the vibes. I don't think I understood.
Yeah, the spooky horror vibes. Like I can just really picture as like a movie in my head.
Yeah.
And the characters. Yeah, I loved all of that.
Yeah, I agree. I wish it was a little bit more weird, but I did.
Yeah, a little bit more spooky too.
I loved it so
It takes
much
a lot to scare me.
that I bought the UK copy because I think it's a prettier cover.
Did you guys think it was like super scary or just like a little creepy? Yeah, no, it was just a little creepy. There was like one part that made me have like my like tears streaming scared reaction. I think it was like when she was in the bathtub and the wasp started coming and Adelaide walked in. That creeped me out. But other than that, I expected it to be a little more spooky, I guess.
I think there were things that like creeped me out, but not a like fear reaction.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
I think we're almost wrapping up, but hi. feel free to run back and watch the mess that this was. It will be going up on the channel.
Yeah. I think the last polyamorous book I read was I don't know. I can't remember.
I honestly can't remember either, other than like stuff with
comments. So many suggestions.
Well, I think
I have a lot of things on my TBR.
The casual droppings of mentions like Ruin Song. I read a couple weeks, like a week ago. I read A Long Way to a Small Angry Planet. Like they just had casual representation. I don't think I read anything recently that had like full on.
Oh, I do have Memory of Souls coming up on my TBR. That's like high fantasy, but the polyamory is kind of like in the background. People talk about it a lot. It's like
Oh, yeah. Is that
the Ruin of Kings?
The really big adult fantasy books. There's like 4 of them now, I think.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Like they are polyamorous technically, and it's more just like there's no taboo over having multiple partners. Yeah. So the third one's on my TBR for September, and because I want to be able to buy the 4th one, and I have my unspoken rule that I'm not allowed to buy more than 1 book from an author because otherwise things get out of hand really quickly. But I feel like they're not like the epitome of like polyamory representation because it's not the focus by any means. It's just kind of like there.
Yeah.
But that series is crazy, and it is like high fantasy. So I guess like you gotta really be feeling the vibes for a chunky high fantasy. But it is a good example of a chunky high fantasy. And the second one, and that's probably the last thing I've read that we haven't actively been like reading together. Can I think of anything else?
I just want more.
I heard
books in every single genre. I want a really cozy found family sci-fi where no one dies. I mean, none of the found family dies. I want like every type of story you could possibly think of, and not YA. Although I do still like reading YA sometimes, but like.
I'm gonna go grab my burrito, but I'll be back in 1 second.
Yeah, I heard that Rin Chipeko's new book, their new polyamorous book.
Kara and I were talking about that the other day. Yeah. It's like vampires.
Yes.
And I think it's like male, female, non-binary, from what I gathered.
Let a tall girl rep. Okay. I've been reading a lot of plus size rep lately.
Oh yeah,
I'm loving it.
That's awesome. Yeah. I'm finally getting out of my reading slump, and so I'm like, there's all these books that I want to read, or ones I started that I need to finish. It feels really good. I just hope I can keep it up and not fall back into a reading slump. There's so much I want to read.
I read Eat Your Heart Out, and it was so good. And it was like zombies at that camp.
Oh yeah, I just saw someone talk about that earlier today on Twitter. Yeah, that one looks interesting. Like they're sent to like a weight loss camp, but then a zombie outbreak happens.
Yeah,
and they have to fight for their lives. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
I feel that.
What?
Erin wants to read more books about cool giant women.
Oh, yeah.
All right, guys. I'm about to head out because I need to go to sleep.
Yeah, it's late for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to eat my lunch.
All right. So we'll let you guys know next time when our thing is.
I will put the announcement on Twitter when we have a date for our next live show for Honor Among Thieves. If you're interested in reading, technically it's out August because month, but I'm sure the live show will be sometime in September. And for September's reading, we'll be reading Nightbine. So,
or you guys will.
Yes.
KJ and I will be reading Nightbine.
Yep.
And if you don't like it, I don't want to talk about it.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
It's like my first thing on my TBR for September.
Cool. Well, I hope you like it. I'll be like creeping on your Goodreads and Twitters to see what you rated it. And if you rate it bad, I just won't bring it up.
I think it'll be really good.
I hope so. I think it starts off really great.
I'm excited. Thank you everyone for coming. Thank you, Erin, for joining us in the chat, and Lemon for popping in at the end. Feel free to roll back and see what we talked about earlier. And if you're watching this later on replay, thanks for joining.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next time with our next live show talking about Honor Among Thieves. So we will see you then. Thanks for coming.
Bye.
Bye.